Once upon a time, there was a young man who lived in a small village at the foot of a mountain. He was naturally lazy and spent his days napping in the shade of trees, completely unwilling to work alongside the other villagers. One day, a wise old monk arrived in the village and called the young man over. "My child," the monk said, "I have a task for you. I want you to climb to the top of that mountain and bring me back a feather." The young man sneered upon hearing this. "Climb a mountain? I'm too lazy. I could never do that." The old monk smiled and explained, "The feather is not on the mountain peak, but in a cave on the other side of the mountain. You must first climb to the top and then descend to the other side to find it." These words stirred the young man's curiosity, and he decided to take on the challenge. Despite being out of breath and drenched in sweat along the way, he remained persistent, feeling an excitement and drive that he had never experienced before. When he finally reached the top, he gazed at the magnificent view before him and felt an unprecedented sense of accomplishment. But he quickly realized that the real test had just begun. He still had to descend and find the cave. The journey down was even more difficult than climbing up. The young man fell countless times, but he did not give up. Each time he got back on his feet, his determination grew stronger, and his desire for the feather helped him forget his exhaustion. Finally, he reached the cave and saw the feather glimmering in the light. He carefully picked it up, but then suddenly realized a problem. How could he bring the feather back? He hesitated for a moment, recalling the pride and sense of accomplishment he felt at the mountain peak. He decided to continue, to overcome his lazy nature and climb back to the top again. This time the climb was even harder. His body was exhausted and his lungs burned, but he persisted. In the end, he handed the feather to the monk. The monk smiled at him and said, "Well done, my child. You have learned an important lesson. Laziness is not something to be tolerated. It is an obstacle that must be overcome. Only by breaking through this obstacle can you discover the limitless potential within yourself." The young man woke up as if from a dream, understanding his own strength and determination. From then on, he no longer feared challenges. This experience taught him that no matter how difficult a task might be, with firm belief and courage, one can overcome any obstacle.